7 Action News reporter Michael Rosenfield talked with the firefighter who found little Cecilia Sheehan.
When Flight 255 crashed moments after takeoff, 21-year-old Romulus firefighter John Theed raced to the scene, only knowing some sort of plane had gone down.
We got to Smith Road, that we saw the cockpit and we could see the word West, and one of the firefighters with me, Dan Kish, looked at me and said, we have a big one. And we knew right there that was a passenger airliner.
Theed, now a lieutenant with the Romulus Fire Department, was the first on scene on the north side of the crash, along with Dan Kish and 2 others. The team started extinguishing flames when Dan heard moaning.
Me and Dan split up. He went southbound, I went northbound on Middlebelt Road, and checking a few, 3 or 4 passengers to locate somebody. After about my 4th one, I saw a chair upside down. I moved the chair to the right. I checked the lady underneath. There's no vital signs on her. And then I saw the arm move. I turned my head to the right and I could see an arm coming out of the chair.
That arm belonged to 4-year-old Cecilia Sheehan. She was burned and bruised but alive, still strapped to a booster seat and on top of another passenger.
She was actually on top of Phyllis Ziegler, I believe, out of Arizona. She was actually found under westbound 94, under that viaduct.
Theed would use this board to rescue the little girl. The board now hangs at Romulus Fire Station 4. Roy Brindamore, an EMT, started working on her. Hours later, Theed would see Kish once again and told him the moaning he heard was a survivor. Until then, Theed had turned his attention to the cockpit and got a helping hand from a Channel 7 photographer.
Can you give me some light over on this side from the outside?
It was dark, and we were retrieving the pilots out of the cockpit, and Channel 7 actually, they used the lighting on the scene, because back then our fire trucks weren't well equipped with lights, and we actually used the camera from the Channel 7 crew to help us navigate through the cockpit area.
Theed and his team would spend roughly 30 hours on site, helping to recover bodies and secure the scene.
It was just part of my job, and hopefully it never happens again.
As for Cecilia, Theed would visit in the hospital, and that would be the last time he knew anything about her until she reached out to him over the Facebook page for Flight 255.
She wanted to know some questions, how people were that night, you know, for Mom and Dad and her brother, and maybe if people suffered and things like that.
They communicated by email and by phone, and Cecilia invited John to her wedding. It was the first time he saw her since she was discharged from the hospital. He had always been curious.
She grew up to, you know, be happy. You know, she went to college and got married, and she's successful.
25 years later, while thrilled to see Cecilia grow up, the memories of that tragic night still linger for John Theed. It's almost unavoidable.
Every day we travel that road, I can see it how it was that night.
In Romulus, Michael Rosenfield, 7 Action News.